love you, Mom. The giants. They really are all gone. There's nothing for us here.
Hey, how's it going guys? Captain Kuba here, and today I will try to provide an answer for an age-old God of War question. What happened to the giants in Jotunheim? This question has been bothering me since I played the game for the first time, and today I suspect I have a valid answer. But first we have to understand why this is an important question to begin with. Many years before the events of the game, Tyr managed to help the giants escape the wrath of Thor by taking them to Jotunheim, and also hiding their tower in the realm between realms. So if the giants made it safely into Jotunheim, why are they all dead? After all, the only enemies the giants had were the Aesir gods, and they couldn't get into Jotunheim by any means known to them. So what happened to the giants? Some fans have proposed the idea that the giants simply died of old age, but this can't be the case. If you look closely at their bodies, you will see most of them have weapons near their hands, and even their blood splatter on the mountains. Clearly a battle took place in Jotunheim, and the giants lost. But who were they fighting? Not only do I believe they were fighting the Aesir gods, but I believe they were fighting the famous Ragnarok battle. As evidence, I would like to remind you that the only context in which all the giants die in Norse mythology is during the Battle of Ragnarok. But how is this possible, since Baldur's death signified the start of Fimbulwinter, followed by Ragnarok? Well, do you remember what Mimir told Kratos when they went to Helheim? Here, I'll play it for you again.
Time doesn't move the same between all realms, especially where the spirit world is concerned.
Like the light of Alfheim.
The opposite, in fact. The Lake of Souls feels faster than Alfheim time, but Hell is much slower than Midgard. Sorry, I'm sure that's confusing.
So apparently time is experienced differently in each realm. The same applies to Jotunheim. When Kratos and Atreus return to Midgard, Mimir says the following.
Before we return to Midgard, I should warn you. More time has passed than you likely realize.
So if Mimir thinks more time has passed since Kratos and Atreus went to Jotunheim, then it means time passes faster in Jotunheim than it does in Midgard. We don't know exactly how much faster, but as an example, let's just say that 20 minutes in Jotunheim equals to 4 weeks in Midgard. First of all, this means that time travel to the future is possible in the God of War universe. For a funny example, imagine Atreus is looking forward to the release date of Cyberpunk 2077, but sadly he has to wait a full month until the game comes out. Now he could wait a month in Midgard until the game releases, but if he really wanted to play the game that same day, he could simply go to Jotunheim for 20 minutes, and when he returned to Midgard, a month would have gone by without him noticing. But how does this apply to the dead giants in Jotunheim? Well, this is where it's going to get confusing. I believe the Jotunheim we went to is the Jotunheim from the previous timeline, the one where Ragnarok already happened. This would be the famous fight in which Jormungandr was sent back to the past. This would change how we view the mural at the end of the game. Instead of thinking the mural predicts the future, it could be that it's simply telling the story of what already happened from the giants' point of view. If you think this is crazy, wait until you hear my next point. I believe Kratos and Atreus arrived in Jotunheim only after a day or two had passed since the Battle of Ragnarok had taken place. I say this because their bodies are still fresh. They haven't decomposed like the giants' remains we see in Midgard. Once again, this is possible because time in Jotunheim goes faster than in Midgard. So let's say while the Battle of Ragnarok took only 3 hours to be completed, Kratos and Atreus completed their 30-hour journey just in time to witness the aftermath of the Ragnarok battle. I can already see the comments refuting my theory, but I honestly think we're making a lot of assumptions when it comes to timelines in the story. So to make it simpler, just forget everything Mimir told us about the Aesir gods, because these stories could very well have taken place in the first timeline, the one we never experienced. So if we do this, what do we really know about the Aesir gods? We only know that they're after the last giant. That's all we know for sure. Now I want to show you 2 moments that could prove Ragnarok already happened for the Aesir gods. First is seen after Magni's death. This is Modi's reaction.
No! How did you...
You can tell Modi found this event surprising. Now this could be because he didn't know Kratos was a god killer, but his surprise could also be as a result of a prophecy being changed. You see, Magni and Modi are one of the few gods that survive Ragnarok. If this fight with Kratos takes place after a victorious Ragnarok battle, then Modi will surely be surprised at Magni's death, because Kratos once again changed prophecy.
You've changed something. Prophecy didn't count on you.
Later Modi says something else that caught my attention.
You ruined everything! I earned that fucking hammer!
He says to Kratos, I earned that hammer. This is also something that happens after the events of Ragnarok. He never says, I will earn the hammer. For him, the hammer is pretty much his, since the Battle of Ragnarok already took place, and the last thing he needed to do for the Aesir gods was capture the last giant. This means that the Aesir gods aren't simply trying to stop Ragnarok from happening, but they're trying to stop it from happening again. So I guess the story for the next game will be somewhat similar to God of War 2. Kratos and Atreus will find a way to turn back time and bring back the giants to life, for another go at the Battle of Ragnarok. Now I know you're ready to write your comments disproving my crazy time travel theory, but the truth is, you can do that with almost anything. Even an amazing movie like Endgame has plot holes. So before you take apart my theory, I'm gonna have to ask you this question. If the giants made it safely into Jotunheim, who killed the giants? In my theory, I used time relativity and a previous timeline. Two things that are already confirmed in the series. If you can do better than I did, I will admit it. Hell, I'll even make a video explaining your theory. Now, as the final nail in the coffin, I'm going to show you a video in which Barlog responds very suspiciously to his future plans for the theme of time in the series.
There's such a big theme about time, and I don't know if I fully understand it. I gotta like beat this game like 5 more times, but it's, you know, Atreus or Kratos going into the light and the time being different, and then Mimir has a line about Helheim moving slower than Midgard,
Yep.
and I'm just wondering. And then of course the end when Thor comes and it says years later. It's just all these elements of like, well, you know, time moves differently in places. And I want to like dive deep into that, but I don't know if that's like setting up things to come or.
Yes, it is.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. There's
So
a
I'm
bunch
on
of
track.
stuff in the World Serpent talks. You have to rely on Mimir.
Yeah.
As giving you all the information. And he totally doesn't.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what he's planning, but if my theory is correct, then it means time will be attached to realms differently. How this will work out remains to be seen. Barlog might just change the way in which we talk about time travel. So what do you guys think? Is it possible Kratos and Atreus stumble across the aftermath of the Ragnarok battle, and that's the reason why the giants are dead? Or do you think something else happened to them? These are interesting questions that you can tackle in the comment section below. As always, I want to give a big thanks to all of my channel members. People like Stefak, Ron Solo, and Reap210, to name a few, really go above and beyond to support the channel. I would also like to thank all of my subscribers for their support. This channel would be nothing without you guys. So if you liked the video, make sure to hit like and share with fellow God of War fans. And as always, remember, go forth in the name of Olympus.
Oh, feels like a lifetime ago.
Bit drafty, maybe. It's a right improvement over having tree bark in your Tadger.
Time to rest.
I'm gonna sleep through winter.
Okay, this'll do.
Sleep.
Way ahead of you.
The ball!